Hi guys, so here's the laundry and oh, we love a good spider. Oh my god, we love a good spider. So anyway, I am supposed to be uploading a completely different video for today, but I had a vlog in place, but literally like it was just me being depressed and like trying to make it, you know, less of a depressive episode than it was than it usually was. Oh my god, the laundry. So the original video was just me doing a vlog of like me trying to like boost my mood so that I don't have like such a horrible depressive episode, which I'm still like in, like I want to say like towards the end, like where my mood is like a little bit better, but I am still like having those like weird thoughts about myself. I'm just sort of like pushing it to the back of this plan, just like kind of like focusing on like my actual life instead of all the suffering in the world. But anyway, but yeah, since that video didn't pan out because it was literally just me, like I was doing the acts, but it's just like there was no cohesion within the vlog. It was just like this and then this happened and this happened and this happened. There was like no storytelling, which is like what makes a vlog a vlog. So basically what you're getting is this video today, which is what I do regularly to keep my depressive episodes in check. That is what I do before, during, and after, just to, you know, keep my mood as stable as possible. Depressive episodes are going to hit me whether I like them or not, but I can determine how hard. Yes, thank you, Magnus. I can determine. Oh my gosh. Anyway, I can. He wants to be in the video so bad. Say hi. Hi, Magnus. Say hi. Okay, now you have nothing to say, right? Now you have nothing to say, right? Yeah, that's what I thought. So like I said, depressive episodes are gonna hit whether I like it or not, but I can lessen, you know, how it attacks me by continuing to do these practices. And I do want you to know, like with the B-roll that I'm showing as I'm like explaining what I do, my hairstyle changes like 3 different times. Even today, this is probably like the 4th time that it's changed. So sorry, don't know what that's about. But it is still me and it is within the same week. It really is, promise, trust. But yeah, this is what I do to keep my depression in check and make sure that I am mentally well. So if you want to know how I do that and how I'm still able to be productive when I am really sad and just in general just have good mental upkeep or something like, I don't know, good mental health while having a mental illness is basically what I'm trying to say, then yeah, keep watching. But before we get into that, please sure to like this video and subscribe. It really does help me, so if you're watching this video, please subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything. And be sure to comment if you like relate to any of these things that I'm saying, like if some of these things work for you, or if you decide to try them out, because that'd be really nice to hear and see. But yeah, let's just get right into it. The first thing that I do, and I say this like literally every vlog because it's helped me so much, and I'm so sorry if it's a little bit redundant, I am, but you need to go on a walk. And you need to listen to either positive podcasts or mental health books or self-help books in general. Like you need to listen to non-fiction positive vibe books while you are on your walk. This has helped my mental health immensely. And it's also helping me read more, because oftentimes I will read the audiobooks that I am listening to, because I just like to read and I like to see the physical words. So if there's like a chapter that I love or like something that like caught my eye or whatever, then I will reread the part that I listened to or whatever. Not saying that audiobooks are not books, because they absolutely are. That's what oral tradition is about. And I'm not going to discount the way that my ancestors, all of our ancestors, told stories for millions and millions, for thousands and thousands of years, not millions. Just because some people want to be pretentious. So there's that. But yes, walking and listening to these positive types of videos is going to be what helps you keep your mental health in check, keep your positive image about yourself in check. It's going to help you not only with that, but have like a more, a brighter outlook on life, if that's what you're struggling with. It's going to help you have more compassion towards others. It's going to help you get more motivation. If that's what you're lacking in life, more motivation to work on yourself and be a better person. And it's just going to help you to just like really just get in tune with like, especially if you're listening to like podcasts or whatever, it's going to really help you get in tune with like your thought process, your thought pattern. You introducing new concepts into your mind while you're doing like a physical activity, at least for me, it does help me compartmentalize my thoughts a little bit better. It helps me to really work out the things that I'm taking in, if that makes sense. So it's like I'm walking, and I'm feeling a little bit of an emotional thing pop up that's from my past or whatever, something that's like triggered me or whatever. I'm walking that out actively and instilling new information in. And so me doing that, getting all of that emotion out of my body and instilling something positive into my mind, it's sort of like a mind-body connection thing. Like we're walking this out and we're, soaking in all this beautiful energy. And also I get to be outside, I get to be out in nature, and I get to see all the beautiful things and take it all in, and that also boosts my mood too. So walking and audiobooks, walking and podcasts, do it. I cannot recommend that enough, and that's why that's the first thing that I do. That actually does help me. The second thing that I do, and it's really just like for me to be like better to my body when I'm sad. It's not necessarily a thing that I do like before I feel like a depressive episode coming on, but it's more so what I do during an episode, and it's just a habit that I've picked up because of that. But I prepare 2 meals, at the very least 2 meals for the day, so that I can like eat, so that I can take care of myself and ensure that I'm eating at least the bare minimum amount that I need to take in, so that I can maintain my body and not get deeper into depression because I'm not eating. Nourishing my body is the way that I love myself. I can't go out and do all the things that I dream of, and I can't go out and change the world that I know that a lot of people are struggling in if I am not healthy. So I prepare at least 2 meals. They don't have to be extravagant, whatever, but I try to keep it to like whole foods or whatever. And sometimes it's just like really quick. Like I'll do like a tuna salad or something like that, and like a soup or something, something very quick, very easy, something that I don't have to like worry a lot about. Like it doesn't have to be too much, it really doesn't. But preparing at least 2 meals for the day while I'm in a depressive episode, it helps me immensely to just regain my health. And oftentimes I won't be in the mood to cook. And so there's the problem, right? But no, this is like a little tip. If you are in the mood, if you're not in the mood to cook and you have just like a thing going on mentally and you're not in the mood to cook, but you feel as though you need to cook, or you need to like eat or whatever, you like want to sustain yourself still, but you just really can't bring yourself to get up and do the task. Asian food places, just order Chinese, order like Japanese, order Indian food. They give the biggest portions, and it's like You can eat off of it if you're like, you know, have like a smaller figure. You can eat off of it for days, literally for days. And if you don't, that's fine. It's still like it's a lot of food, you know? So just order, you know, and they're mostly cheap. So at least the places around me are pretty cheap. So I will, if I don't feel like cooking, I'll just order Asian food and be done with it, because I just genuinely, they hit all the food groups. They're really yummy and satisfying. I mean, it's just like, and I don't feel hungry afterwards, and I don't feel bloated afterwards. Is like the best thing that I could possibly do if I'm not cooking for myself, is to order Asian food. It helps, I promise. The third thing that I recommend for before, during, and after is to journal. I have 2 journals. Seriously, I do have 2 journals. I have one that I just write in, you know, at night or like in the morning or throughout the day, whatever. And then I have one that I keep with me like in my purse. And so the one that I just like keep at home or whatever, you know, if I want to take it, I'll take it, but it mostly stays at home. That one is reserved for like getting out all the things that I did for the day, feeling all my emotions, and, you know, stuff like that, like really like diving into, you know, how I'm feeling and just documenting my life. But I also use that journal as like a gratitude thing. So I'll always say like what I'm grateful for afterwards, so that no matter what, I'm always ending on a positive note. Even if that day was like the worst day of my life, I'll always end on a positive note. There's always something that you can be grateful for or show gratitude for in your life. So that's the first journal that I have. And the second journal that I have is actually very interesting. And this is something that I'm like testing out on myself. I've been testing it out for like the past 2 months. I want to say I've been testing this out, but I have been trying to reinvent myself and embody my ideal self. I already have like a workbook on my website about embodying your ideal self, but what I'm really trying to do is ensure that I'm staying who I'm saying that I am, if that makes sense. So with this journal, I will like, you know, I already have in my head what I need to project, who I need to be, and how I need to think, I guess, in order to become my ideal self. So if I, you know, in practicing mindfulness, I will like recognize a thought pattern or a behavioral pattern that I'm doing in the day that was my old self, and I'll write it down, and I'm like, okay, well, I did this today, which is, you know, a characteristic of the old me, but I know that me, who I am now, doesn't do that shit anymore. And so we're gonna be better. We're gonna be better. We're gonna be more aware of this habit, so that the beautiful old me that I love and adore, doesn't come back up to this new me, who I am now. So I continue to live my best life. So that's what I've been practicing, just like with like, you know, the little journal. So yeah, I've been a little bit more mindful of like myself lately and how I've been delivering myself to the world, but also to me in general, just so that I can continue being my ideal self, even in moments where I am like, I'm typically not aware of like who I am and what I'm doing. Like I'm on autopilot. And I think that's a beautiful habit, because that does keep me in check mentally as well, because I'll recognize a pattern, and this helps me in therapy because I'll recognize that pattern and I'll go back to my other journal. I'm like, okay, well, that maybe I've triggered that pattern or like whatever. So I have 2 different perspectives, one from the internal, one from the external, like one from a person who's living that life, and one from like an observer standpoint. So I have 2 perspectives that I can deliver to my therapist, and so we can like work on it together in our sessions. But journaling in general is just really delicious. I don't know why I say that way, but it's just like a really good habit to develop, not only for like you know, emotional regulation, but also just for like memory upkeep. That's why when people are starting to like trying to like remember their dreams, whatever, the first thing people always tell them to do is write it down. Get a dream journal and write that shit down. Even if you don't remember your dream, say, I don't remember my dream, because it will help you trigger your brain to say, hey, we want to remember these now. These are apparently important. And that will help you to remember. So if you have memory issues or whatever, start a journal, because it will help you build your memory back up. It will help you exercise that brain. It will help you just in general to remember. Even if you don't remember, you still have a recount of what happened that day. So yeah, that's why I journal, to, keep myself in check before, during, and after a depressive episode. Number 4 is I meditate. I typically meditate at the end of the day. I do at least 20 minutes of meditation with brown noise, and I typically meditate in like a seated position in like low light or like no light at all. And this helps me to just decompress and relax and move my brain from beta to theta and just go to the bed. It helps me sleep. In the past, and even now a little bit, I've had trouble with sleeping. I would used to be in this vicious cycle of depression, insomnia, and anxiety, and it was just like they were all contributing to one another, so I had to like tackle them all, and it was just whatever. So meditation actually helps me to calm my brain so that I can like be receptive to sleep. But not only that, but it also helps me to realign myself, and I feel like I need like a realignment. It helps me to be aware of what's going on in my body. It's like a nightly recap for my body. And it just helps me to like clear my mind if that's what I'm going for, or if I'm like doing any other meditation technique. It helps me with whatever that target is too. It also helps me with my depression, because I specifically, sometimes I do this like even midday, like I'll drop everything to do this if it gets too much. But I do like a Buddhist meditation. I think it's called Tonglen. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but it's basically where you feel all the suffering of the world and turn that suffering into compassion. And this has helped me immensely with my mental health. I cannot like stress that enough. Because part of the reason why I have depression is because I feel the suffering of other people so deeply. And I know that it's like, I'm getting emotional just thinking about it. I know that it's preventable. Like half of the things that are happening in the world are preventable if people weren't so greedy in this life and actually, provided for their fellow human beings, or built better systems so that people don't have to suffer. But, neither here nor there. That meditation has really helped me in general to just, keep that at like a minimum. I know I feel the suffering of the world, but I don't have to like internalize it. If I do, then I just change it to compassion. And that has helped me immensely with my mental health. It has. So meditation can be used for a lot of things. I use it for a lot of things. It doesn't have to just be you sit there and you try to clear your mind. Sometimes you don't even need to clear your mind. There's meditation practices where you just let your mind just ramble on until it doesn't have anything to ramble about. You can use a mantra, you can do visualization techniques or whatever. You can do really anything that you feel the need to do during meditation. But the whole point of meditation is to relax yourself in a way to where you move yourself from beta to theta. So keep that in mind. If it's relaxing to you, then it's relaxing to you, and if it helps you to move your brainwaves from beta to theta, then that's meditation. It doesn't have to be you sitting down or whatever. It can be you taking a walk. It could be you just like laying down in bed, staring at the ceiling. Because I used to do that too as a kid. I would like literally stare at the ceiling until like, or like I'll pick a point on my wall until like the lines of like, I don't know, the angles like that would like start to dissolve and blend into each other, and I would just like literally just sit and stare So meditation can be anything as long as it gets you to a relaxed state. So please keep that in mind, and please find a way to incorporate that into your life, because I do think that meditation is very beneficial. And if you're not like me and you feel like you need to meditate first thing in the morning, then go ahead and do so. Meditation is entirely personable, just like fitness, just like stretching. It's entirely personable. So please do what you feel like you need to do, but please do it, because it helps. I promise it helps. And one of the last things that I do to keep my mental health in check, this is definitely not like the final thing, but it's the last thing that I'm telling you. I do many other things, but this is one thing that I just keep going to, is that I go to my altar. Yep, I will tend to my altar. I will light up all my candles, for different altars. I will pray. I will give up. I will literally surrender my own pain and suffering to my ancestors, my deities, to Mother Nature, to just the universe. I will go to my altars and surrender that up, and I'll cry and cry and cry and just give up my pain to my spiritual council, and allow them to actually help me through it. And this is more of a spiritual practice, and I completely understand if that feels a little bit too woo-woo for you. That's okay. But when we think about health and wellness in general, we need to really consider our mental health, our physical health, emotional health, and our spiritual health. A lot of people think that spiritual health is just reading the Bible and going to church, but that's not really what it's all about. Do you feel comfortable with yourself? Do you feel comfortable with the thought of death? Do you feel comfortable with your soul? Do you have an idea of how your soul exists in you? Do you have an idea of the role your soul plays? Do you have an idea of the role that everyone else's soul plays in this earth? And I'm not just talking about people. I'm talking about, the rest of the animal kingdom, the plants, everything that's really living has a soul. So do you find yourself connecting to these beings? Do you find yourself recognizing you and what people would say are the lesser beings of this earth? I don't think that's true. I don't think that's a true sentiment. But do you find yourself relating to the bird that sits by your window, and only sits by your window for what reason? Do you find yourself, specifically gravitating towards a flower or something like that? These are the things that people don't recognize is a sign of very good spiritual health, is you acknowledging the life in other things, the life in other living things. Not just the life in your brother, not just the life in your mother, your best friend, your teacher, or whatever. It's not just, the human race, but there is life on this planet, and who knows, elsewhere too. I firmly believe that there's life everywhere too, because it's extremely egotistical to think that millions and billions of light years away from us doesn't have any life on it. That's a little bit crazy, I think. Anyway, that's not what we're talking about here. What I am saying is that spiritual health is just as important as mental health, and taking care of your spiritual side and tending to that does help me, specifically me, to keep my mental health in check, because it offers a level of comfort and support. On my side, I know that I'm not alone even when I feel like I'm alone, because I have my spiritual counsel with me. It also helps me to process my emotions and end my depressive episode a little bit faster, as I've seen just from me keeping track of my own depressive episodes. And just tending to the altar in general just makes me feel better. That's just the end of it. If there's nothing else that I can say to prove to you, or whatever, that it matters, that spiritual health matters, going to the altar makes me feel better. full stop. And like I said, there are other things that I do that help me with my mental health, but those are just some things, and I feel like the most important things that I do to help me just keep it together. So yeah, let me know if this helped you. I really enjoyed attempting to make the first video and making this video, and I feel like, you know, a lot of people need sort of like this motivation or this I don't know, information to help them. You know, you hear everything about like, oh, you need to journal, you need to meditate, whatever, especially those two, oh, you need to get outside, and a lot of people say that, but you don't really get it until you live it, and that is like the truth. And I don't really know what else to say. And I'm not saying that I do this every like time that I'm like depressed. I will try my hardest to do it during my depressive episode. I know I do it before and after for sure, but during my depressive episode, sometimes I'm just laying in bed for hours on end and I don't get up and I don't do anything. Sometimes I'm just like literally just going through life, doing the things that I usually do, doing the things that I have to do, but I'm in such a low state that I'm like not even present. I've just like literally dissociated from my reality just so I can like go ahead and do what I need to do, because I am a human being in this society and I have responsibilities, and no matter what, life keeps going and I have to keep going with it. But sometimes, you know, that is what, you know, I'm dealing with, and I don't have the energy, the capacity to be doing literally anything else but trying hard, like putting all my energy into just continuing to live my life. Life goes on, like I said, and it's just a matter of what gets my energy first, or what I have left to pull from. But these 5 things absolutely do help me in general with boosting my mood enough so that I can tend to my responsibilities in this life, so I can continue to sustain the life that I have, and also motivate myself to grow and expand on this life. Yeah, those are just the 5 things that I do on the regular that help me with my mental health, and I hope that this video helped you. If you like me, please follow my social media links in the description. I've been posting on Substack and TikTok a lot more, so I would prioritize those 2 over the rest. Don't forget to subscribe. Again, I have been trying to post 2 times a week. It hasn't been successful yet, but I just started this, so you know, there's that. And I just finished having a depressive episode, so you know, give me some time. I'll bump it up to 2 times a week. So yeah, please subscribe and like the video if you like this video and you feel as though it's good information to have or like to spread around. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here. I love you guys. Bye.